unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Team David Benavidez believes that Canelo would be an easier fight for David as opposed to Caleb Plant, who David just fought. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, there was an interview done by Fight Hype, and they were talking to Jose Benavidez, father trainer of David Benavidez, and he was kind of asked to comparatively break down his son's fight with Caleb Plant, who's a mutual opponent to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo fought him before David Benavidez. He says, quote, "It all depends on how you see it. Caleb Plant was doing very well. He was frustrating Canelo, but Canelo came out with one shot and hurt Caleb Plant. After that fight, Caleb Plant went back, got better, and got a lot of confidence. Plus, he was on a big stage. David did the same thing, kind of, but he gave him a beating. Caleb Plant ended up in the hospital. I think he got a lot of punishment in this fight, an accumulation of punches. It all depends on what you like more and what the people like more. Is it one shot or accumulation of punches? I think David Benavidez hurt Caleb Plant more because he ended up in the hospital and he got hit a lot. The corner could have stopped that fight, or the referee could have stopped the fight. They protected him. David had him hurt. If the referee wasn't there, David could have taken him out. You have to understand that the referee protected Caleb Plant a lot. Look at how Caleb Plant looked against Canelo. Look at how Caleb Plant looked against David. The only thing that happened is we know that Caleb Plant does not have the stamina. He's a true fighter, and he's going to give a lot of people problems. Now you've got two effing animals coming forward and somebody is going down. I guarantee you that with Canelo and David. Canelo does not have the same footwork as Caleb Plant has, so it's going to be easier for us. We've seen that against Bivol. All that defense worked against Bivol, right? He was getting hit a lot. Did he have a lot of defense when he fought Triple G? And he fought an old Triple G. Where was that defense? I'm going to give that to Caleb Plant. And he says that was the style that would be hardest for his son. That was the hardest fight we ever had. We risked a lot. Caleb Plant is the best fighter we ever fought. I think so because of the way he moves. He concludes the only thing is conditioning. If he had a little more gas in the tank, I don't know why Plant got tired or gets tired. Can you imagine at least 10 rounds the way he fought? He looked the same against Canelo. I don't think Bivol has the same legs. I don't think Benavidez has the same legs. I don't think Boo Boo has the same legs. Charlo doesn't have the same legs. So they're really kind of went full circle and they're giving Caleb Plant his props. Now, that's what I want to talk about. So is this Team Benavidez kind of getting back because Eddie Hearn, who is promoting Canelo right now, he says that a fight with Benavidez is easier than a fight with Bivol for Canelo? So could this be retaliation from Benavidez's side saying, oh, okay, you said Bivol's a tougher fight and David's easier, so we're going to do the same thing and say that Plant is a harder fight than Canelo Alvarez? Or do they really believe this? Now, my thoughts are this. I said this after the David Benavidez and Caleb Plant fight. Roger Mayweather once said, most don't know about boxing. They sure enough don't. Styles make fights. It's an age-old adage in the sport of boxing, and it is oh so true. Styles make fights. So you can't deduce or infer that because fighter A did this and looked like this with fighter B, then fighter C is going to come in and look the same way as fighter A or B, because different training camps, different motivations, different paychecks, different styles, which is probably one of the more important aspects, timing. I mean, there's so many variables that go into boxing. This is not some, like tic-tac-toe where you can kind of get ahead of the game, and if you know exactly where to put the X, then no one can beat you. This is not that. Boxing has a lot of variables. Like in tic-tac-toe, you draw the grid and you only have a certain amount of places to put the boxes. So if you're well-versed, you're going to know where to place the X's and the O's to get 3 in a row. Boxing, sometimes you've seen someone on paper, they don't look that powerful, or their record doesn't display that they have this power, and then they crack you with the shot. That's unexpected. Now you're on the fly. You got to figure it out. And recover from something that you didn't even see coming. You know, imagine Tim Bradley. Do you think he really thought that Ruslan was going to hurt him as bad as he did? But it happened, and he had to war through that and battle through that. So at the end of the day, styles make fights, and David Benavidez fighting Caleb Plant, that might have been his toughest style. I mean, I do personally believe that guys like David Morrell and Demetrius Andrade could also be very high up there in terms of stylistic kryptonites for David Benavidez, because I personally believe Benavidez is a great fighter, and so is Boo Boo and Morrell, but I think they have the ability to use their legs similarly to Caleb Plant. They haven't had stamina issues thus far in their careers. They're both undefeated. One's black, one's like a Cuban, and they also have more power in my opinion, and probably longer reach and maybe even taller and things like that than Caleb Plant. So I think those are extremely difficult fights for anybody in the division, including David Benavidez, even though I rate David Benavidez highly. But when you look at Canelo, he doesn't necessarily look like he has the same fire. You look at Canelo, he's definitely, out of all the fighters from Plant to Benavidez to Morrell to Charlo to Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, everybody that I've pretty much mentioned in this video, Canelo is definitely the shortest out of that whole lot, out of that whole bunch. So that automatically puts him at a deficit. And then when we talk about short, okay, it's short. Gervonta Davis is shorter than most of his opponents, but so far so good. Gervonta Davis hasn't really struggled to get in the inside and hurt guys. Canelo Alvarez, I don't really know. I personally think Canelo has power, but I think his power is often exaggerated in the sport of boxing. People act like Canelo has this like put you away power, and I really don't think in these divisions, I don't think his power is quite the same. You know, I still think Triple G has more power at, you know, around these division, because I think he's just naturally bigger and naturally stronger. It's my personal opinion. So to ward off a David Benavidez who's 6'2", 6'2.5", whatever his height is, he's younger than you. He is like a sports car. Once he gets to 0 to 60, you can't catch up with him. That kind of thing so far. I think that's an extremely difficult fight. So what Team Benavidez is saying could be true. Caleb Plant, stylistically, the way he moves, you can't just say, oh, David struggled, so Canelo's going to give him all the problems in the world, because Canelo has slow feet. I call them feet in cement. He has concrete feet, concrete shoes on, and he does not move around the ring the same way as Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant puts his hands low, and he's moving, and he's like finding these little loopholes and escapes, and you know what I mean? He's a lot slicker and a lot swifter. Canelo has very good upper body movement, but he has very slow feet. And I think that's going to give him problems with a lot of the athletic guys with timing, longer reach, power. You know, guys like Bivol, guys like Charlos, guys like Andrade, and guys like Benavidez, you know, when they have some length on him, and they have some height on him, they have some reach on him, they have fast hands, athleticism, timing, accuracy, these types of things. Youth, a lot of these guys are Canelo's age or younger, right? David Morrell, he's another person I put up there. So I really see it being bad for Canelo Alvarez, to be honest, because he's running out of options, and that's why you see him fighting guys that are about his height, like John Ryder, or guys that are taller that are, you know, British fighters and stuff like that. He's not going against these young, hungry lions from Cuba, you know, Mexican, Ecuadorian, American fighters. He's not going after like the black fighters that we want to see him fight. He wants to fight Makbuk Air more than he wants to fight Charlo or Andre. And I said what I said. And I'm introducing Super Thanks right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.